During private member statements, I call the member for Coogee.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. The tsunami that hit Samoa in 2009 was incredibly devastating. When an 8.1 magnitude earthquake struck 200 kilometres southwest of the Samoan coast early in the morning of September 29, it created a tsunami reported to be up to 7 metres high in some areas. The aftermath of the tsunami was horrendous. Nearly 200 people died, entire villages were wiped out, and vital utilities such as electricity and water were lost. Samoa's development was set back many years in just one day of destruction. But since then, the rebuilding process has slowly started and Samoa is gradually returning to a normal life. Now, the rebuilding process has been aided by Groundswell, a not-for-profit organisation set up in the wake of the disaster by Reg Barton, Assistant Director of the Randwick TAFE, and Mark Hawkins, Head Teacher of Carpentry at Randwick TAFE. Groundswell started from a brainstorming session between Reg and Mark, both keen surfers who felt a duty to do what they could to help the Samoan community in the aftermath of the tsunami. Thus far, Groundswell has made 2 trips to Samoa to assist with the rebuilding process. These trips have been organised and attended by Reg and Mark, as well as groups of carpentry apprentices from the Randwick TAFE Institute. The first happened just a few months after the tsunami, with the Groundswell team paying out of their own pockets to visit Putasi, a village on the southeast coast of Upolu Island in Samoa. Putasi lost 9 lives on that morning of the disaster, as well as their village and their way of life. Through their first and subsequent visits, Groundswell has forged a friendship and a working alliance with Samoan Chief Matai and the chief of the Putasi village, Joe Annandale, while also helping with rebuilding of the village's lives. Their vision for the village is for it to be a model village, allowing Putasi to live sustainably and families to return to some form of normality. The village will adopt a whole-of-life approach, including a preschool facility focusing on numeracy and literacy, as well as cultural education intended to re-engage young people with their culture and to provide examples of sustainable living. Groundswell also offers to foster a business environment in order to stimulate the village's economy and ensure the village does not need to rely on external funding. Now, the second trip undertaken by Groundswell happened this year, and the team built a brand new arts centre for the community in a matter of weeks, which is just truly amazing effort. I also understand that there's plans for another trip, plans underway for another trip early in 2012. And of course, anybody who wants to help Groundswell, they cannot always make it across the trip to Samoa, and for this reason, Groundswell organises an annual paddle across Sydney Harbour on the anniversary of the tsunami on September 29 every year. So this year, a small team of surfers on boards joined outrigger crews to paddle across Sydney Heads from the quarantine station to Rose Bay. In the outriggers were Polynesian NRL players such as Nigel Vagana, Frank Pritchard and Roy Asatosi, all supporters of Groundswell. For those who didn't dare to paddle across the Heads, a supporters boat was there lending support. Now, the paddle, both this year and last year, has raised tens of thousands of dollars for the relief effort. Groundswell is a brilliant initiative, and I commend all those involved for their effort. You know, in times of need, it's incumbent upon those of us with the ability to do what we can to help those who find themselves in need. And Groundswell has not just simply helped the people of Samoa, they've gone above and beyond their call of duty. Mark Hawkins and Reg Barton and all of those involved with the Groundswell project have donated so much of their lives in the last 2 years to this worthy cause. And I'm very proud to note that this initiative originated at and is supported by the Randwick Institute of TAFE in my electorate of Coogee. I went to Randwick TAFE, and I've been to East Sydney TAFE, and I've been to Sydney TAFE, and I commend the work that they do, but I particularly commend the work of Reg and Mark. I know them both, and they're a great asset to the Randwick TAFE. I commend the work of Groundswell to the House, and I wish both of them and the Putasi village nothing but the best for the future.